Zambia, you can see an ATM machine outside, not a single queue. Changing slightly now, but there's hardly a queue there. You go into the bank and there's these long queues, and people still feel that they want that human interaction, that there's somebody handing over their cash to them, and it's not just out of the wall of an ATM screen. So there is a process in how that has to evolve. But one angle which we touched on yesterday, and it's your more affluent, your upper middle income, they are connected to the same world everybody's connected to globally, and they watch MTV and The Walking Dead and all that stuff, and they want to be part of that world. We became, and I'm digressing a bit, but just to emphasize the point, we became a Pizza Hut franchisee in Zambia in 2012. We now have Zimbabwe and Mozambique. We had queues going around the bends to be part of that global experience when those stores open. So that sort of middle upper income knows. So today they all have an iPhone, and they want to download the apps and the music and so on and so forth, and they want to buy it legitimately. But Apple does not give you access to that platform in Zambia. I know South Africa a couple of years ago, they were finally given that access, but in Zambia it's impossible to do so. What a great opportunity here if you want to penetrate these markets, because you've got somebody who has a need, and so how do you connect them to that need? What a great opportunity then to use a platform of this nature, and you're talking on a Pan-African basis, and there's that engagement with an Apple or other similar platforms online, that then the African consumer can have access to some of this nature. And there's no need to the withdrawal of cash, because it's just all online, and hopefully it evolves from there. One other thing that came out the last bit, and this is something I'm really fired up about. I'm very, very excited about this. We invest in a business called Dagon, and it does a whole bunch of different things. We say the D stands for disruptive. That's what we say. So we very much fit with what's going on here. And we got invited to participate in an initiative that we think is going to change how cross-border trading happens, how Africans are able to transact with each other, how you eliminate or minimize the involvement of the dollar in that process. And we got invited to participate in a group by a Tanzanian with an IT background, super smart guy. And he has effectively created a product that will allow for mobile money to move amongst different networks without you having a relationship with that network. And it's basically a thing that they call a SIM skin or a sticker. And what effectively happens is you go to, so they've just created a platform, and this is another important bit I think for me, is you focus with that partnership where the key competencies are, not distributing money ultimately on the other side. So we need the banks, or you need the mobile money businesses. I chair a business in Zambia called Zona, which is the leading mobile money business there. And then we operate is we effectively use the USSD from the mobile phone companies. Please don't ask me what USSD stands for. I have no idea. I was just trying to sound clever. But you get this from the mobile phone companies. They obviously have visibility to everything that we do at Zona. And every time we transfer money, whether it's 1,000 kwacha, 10,000 kwacha, they charge 2% of that. We obviously charge for the transfer between the agent and the owner of the funds, and then who the ultimately beneficiary is. This group BBTEL has created is effectively something they're calling a SIM skin. So when you go through that KYC process with Zona, when you're approved, so they do their normal job, they put the SIM skin over your normal SIM card. And what then it does, and I don't know the technical side, but it creates an additional window on your phone. You don't have to download an app. And that allows you, through that window, to do your mobile money transfer. And those transfers can go across multiple networks. We believe in this platform. So if somebody in Tanzania is looking to buy meat from Zambia in Zambia, in Tanzania, they will quote them in kwacha. They will do their own translation into shillings. He would transfer that shillings as long as we get the 100,000 kwacha, or Zambia gets the 100,000 kwacha into their account, it's done. Right now, what would happen, you'd have to go into a bank, buy dollars. Those dollars are routed through New York, and they come back into Africa. That element is eliminated. Then what Zambia does is then they just go to the bank or they go to Zona, and they take their cash out. There's no need for a USSD, so the mobile phone company does not have visibility to this platform. Subsequent to that, you can imagine once you've distributed this across multiple countries in Africa, so Zambia, Kenya, Tanzania, then you go to Atlanta, which I heard usually where most of us Africans settle in the US, and you sell that to the diaspora. Again, with the operators within Atlanta, the diaspora can send money in a similar fashion, and in that whole process, all you pay for is a SIM card. I see an opportunity here. We should be up and running, hit the ground sometime in Q1, Q2 next year. But again, here, I see a potential interesting opportunity with what's being described here. And how do you then start penetrating into these markets without negotiating with every single mobile phone operator for a contract? Those were sort of my comments on this. Thank you.